Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate General Civil War, and we're looking at the Battle of Cold Harbor. This is episode 55 of our Let's Play of Ultimate General. We're playing the Union through the Grand Campaign, and we're approaching the end, folks. We're on to the Battle of Cold Harbor. As I said, it was sort of the penultimate battle of the Overland Campaign, where General Grant launched a series of attacks against Robert E. Lee's heavily entrenched forces, losing massive casualties. The battle took place between May 31st and June 12th, but really the heavy fighting and initial kind of skirmishing leading up to heavy fighting took place between May 31st and June 3rd. Throughout the battle, the Union lost about 12,000 men, the Confederates about 5,000, but really about 8,000 of those Federal casualties came in a matter of minutes. It was a Fredericksburg-type scenario on, I believe it was June 2nd, or maybe it was June 3rd, where the Union launched an attack against heavily dug-in troops. However, it was actually June 3rd, I believe. However, they were repulsed in a matter of minutes rather than an all-day offensive. And this was sort of the last major battle of the Overland Campaign. Following Cold Harbor, the Union launched a wide flanking maneuver which led to the siege of Petersburg. But this was sort of that last massive assault, and Grant was quoted as famously as saying, "I've always regretted that last assault at the Battle of Cold Harbor." With that being said, we are on to this battle. This is one of the grand battles in Ultimate General Civil War, and we're fighting it from the Union, so hopefully we will avoid any suicidal assaults into entrenched earthworks with no hope of success. We shall see what will happen, however. Now, this video, as all the others, was taken from a live stream which I did a couple of weeks ago, and as the series has dictated, I will turn this over to myself from the past, jumping back into preparing for and fighting the Battle of Cold Harbor. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, guys, and let me know your thoughts below. Alright, guys, thanks again for watching. I'll catch you guys at the end. In addition to that, you can see here when I say we've been very successful, I'm not sugarcoating it. We have won every single battle except the supply raid, which was Stoneman's cavalry raid during the Chancellorsville campaign, I believe it was, where I didn't realize I could have kept fighting after the whistle, basically, and I lost for that main reason. With that being said, we're a prize fighter that is just unbeatable, and, hopefully that continues today. The Battle of Cold Harbor is going to be a tough fight for the Union. We got to attack some very heavily dug-in Confederate forces, so I'm going to try and not slaughter my whole army. I'm going to try and not be the slaughterer of divisions, as I've been called, but we will see how that ends up working out. Additionally, I wonder if I can get promoted past Lieutenant General. I don't know if the game has a 4-star rank. I have never seen anyone promoted to 4-star rank, but both John Gibbon and myself are very close. We currently have 2 full corps of both over 40,000 men. Our 3rd corps is substantially smaller at only around 9,000 men, but they're going to end up being reserves in this battle anyway, so I think that's fine. We've got a 4th corps, but there's no one in it. And in recent fights, we've really kind of bled down the army. I actually just recently sold off the vast majority of my artillery. I had something like 70 guns in the armory. But given the size of our army, unless we just build up like 2 full divisions of exclusively artillery batteries and a corps, we just didn't need the amount of guns that we had. So the 3rd corps is in rough shape. They're all rookies. They're all really underranked guys, like majors commanding massive batteries. They're getting huge efficiency penalties because of that. But all the other brigades in the 1st and 2nd corps are in reasonably good shape. The supply is probably in good shape at 30,000 plus for all 3 corps, and we're really ready to fight. The Battle of Cold Harbor here, we're going in. The Confederates are going to be 15% smaller than their default size should be for this fight, because we've won, not only did we win the Battle of Gettysburg, we also won the Battle of Brock Road, which is the Battle of the Wilderness, and we won the Battle of Muleshoe, which is the Spotsylvania Courthouse battle. So we've won all 3 of those battles, which means the enemy army here is going to be substantially smaller than it otherwise would be, which is a good thing, too, considering we're attacking heavily dug-in Confederate forces. So let's go ahead and jump in here, and we'll see. I do intend to be aggressive. I kind of feel like I don't know this battle as I've only played this battle as the Confederates, and I've only played it once. So I don't know if being aggressive on the first day of the battle is wise. You can see here the first day is June 1st. But historically, the Union did reasonably okay the first day. The second day, the Confederates had time to dig in and they got slaughtered. So I think we're going to try and be really aggressive on the first day of the fight, and we'll see what happens. All right, here. Battle of Cold Harbor, 1st of June, 1864. After the Battle of Gettysburg, the Confederate Army of Lee was gradually gave ground while we chased him south. We repeatedly attacked Lee in an attempt to destroy his army and lay siege to the city of Richmond. Lee's army is progressively getting weaker, but is still holding the northern roads leading to Richmond. We should swing around his right flank by securing the crossroads at Old Cold Harbor, about 10 miles east of Richmond. Our army's detachments repulsed the Confederate cavalry and started to build breastworks. Both armies began to shift their formations toward these roads. The Confederates entrenched, preparing to defend their positions. Should they fall, we could break through and march to Richmond. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the first corps on the left, I think? Do we want to put the first corps on the left or the right? The first corps is our most experienced. The second corps is our second most experienced. So we'll put the second corps on the right, the first corps on the left. I don't know what that matters. And tomorrow's reinforcements will be 9 brigades of the third corps. You can see here that gives us 101,710 men. This is the strongest army that I have ever brought to a field in Ultimate General Civil War. The Confederates on day 1 looked to only have 12,000 men, so that's a relatively weak force. Maybe we can win on day 1. I'm not sure if this battle has conditions where we can win the battle in a single day, but maybe we'll find out. Our army is shifting, trying to swing to Lee's right flank. Remember, Lee's right is our left. We're already building trenches near Bethesda Church. Bethesda, like the game company? Up to the section. And as we go down, 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 we've captured Old Cold Harbor crossroads, and now from this position we're threatening to advance to Richmond. Our infantry detachments are currently building breastworks to secure our new attack base. Okay. The rebels have responded by maneuvering their forces to defend New Cold Harbor crossroads. By the way, this is all taking place very close to the Battle of Gaines' Mill of 1862, which was fought on almost the same ground. The Peninsula Campaign and around Cold Harbor were all fought near the very, very similar places during the 7 days. All right, I've entrenched further north, blah, blah, blah. And they keep going north, right? Blah, 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 blah. All right. Our corps detachments control Old Cold Harbor Road Junction and have prepared breastworks to defend it. The Confederates are mobilizing for an attack with their infantry. Oh my goodness! They have entrenched on the other side of the road, and we could counterattack to storm their defenses, but we're now under-strengthed. We must hold our positions until our reinforcements arrive. Okay, so you can see here we've got 5 brigades we can bring in. The Iron Brigade is the brigade with Spencer repeaters, so they're going to go in entrenchments here, I assume. We'll go ahead and we'll have Dunshine kind of protect here in the south. We've got an objective point right here. Additionally to that, we're going to put some Springfields, the Black Hats. These are, again, they are the most elite divisions in our entire army. We'll put them further north. Oh, shoot, the objective is further south. Shoot. So Dunshine will go south. The Iron Brigade will go with him. And maybe the Springfields will guard their northern flank? I'm not sure. I guess we'll see how this all works out. All right, so we'll start the battle. Dunshines goes south. The Iron Brigade goes here. The Springfields go here, I suppose, and that prevents an easy flanking of them. Meanwhile, I think we're actually going to swing these guys. Confederates have an objective point here. So I think we're going to swing these guys. Do we want to swing them south or do like a frontal attack? I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to attack these positions. I'm just not sure if it's smart. So I guess what we'll do is bring these guys into this wood line here where they've got a little bit of cover, and we can kind of feel out where we should attack the Confederates, because I'm not sure how many men they have. Again, they're 15% down. I don't know what they start with. That might be worth considering. Actually, let's move the Springfields up into this house. That's kind of a crappy position where like half the force is on this sort of refused flank section of the line. So I'd actually rather kind of position them a little bit further forward. So put the Springfields in this tree line that allows us to extend the line north with the Black Hats and the Irish Brigade, and consider advancing across the open toward the Confederate objective here if an opportunity presents itself. Yeah, Josh, I don't think the Confederates have Gatling guns, so I think we're relatively safe there. Alright, let's run. You can see here we've got some Confederates coming up. And we've got our troops maneuvering into position here. I thought they'd be in a little bit better cover than they are, apparently, but at least we're driving the Confederates back. Okay. So we've got troops on the south guarding the objective from these Confederates, which appear to be advancing on us. But these Confederate regiments are really small, so I'm kind of curious to see if we kind of... I don't want to run them the whole way, but if we kind of slowly advance across the open, again, we may take some casualties. Fitzhugh Lee's cavalry spotted down here, but again, we've got troops in these positions. We should be okay with that. And we outnumber most of these brigades 2.5 to 1, so it might be worth it. Colquitt just fired a volley, or a volley was just fired into Colquitt at point-blank range. The Irish Brigade is losing kind of heavy casualties here. They're almost at 1-to-1 ratios here. The Springfields are okay. Remember, these guys have sharps. Alright, let's bring our general forward so he can try and help rally some of these guys. Their morale is starting to fall a bit. But if we lure these Confederates out into the open, I think we might actually have a manpower advantage here. Okay. So the Confederates are attacking us rather strongly, I suppose, if that's the right way to say it. Ah, shit. Kite's on his flank. Come on, Irish Brigade, rally a bit. Black Hats have troops behind, they're firing into their rear. Or just, Springfield's rout them. That's good. There you go. No more rear flank anymore. Alright, so move forward, run. Come surrendered. Nice. Enemy unit just surrendered. Looks like these are infantry. Meanwhile, enemy cavalry's trying to charge into Dunshine's flank, I suppose, but they're routed. And actually, let's advance these Sharps guys forward as well, because it looks like the Confederate attack kind of more closer toward our front has broken a bit. Melee fighting going on in these woods. The Irish Brigade's morale is good. Firing at point-blank range into Humphreys. Wolford's going to charge, so we'll turn the Black Hats' muzzles on him. And the Springfields will advance on the objective. Gonna pull Dunshine back so he's on the objective itself. That'll free us up to be a little bit more aggressive with the Iron Brigade. And not get the Springfields too far advanced. Shoot a volley, you're loaded. There you go. Ravage Humphreys there. There you go. Alright, so we are slowly advancing here on the south. Enemy troops are kind of marching around our flank, but I'm okay with that. Wickham's captured prisoners are moving north. And the Irish are kind of helping unravel the Confederate flank here. Alright, so the Confederates are being driven back in the north. That means further advancing by the Irish Brigade and the Black Hats Brigade on the objective. Sunshine will stay on the objective point out of the trenches because he's just too easy to be flanked in that objective. Wolford is in these trenches. We're going to have Wolford get charged. I can't remember if we actually fought Wolford or not. If he's already been pushed out of his position, he may be in a very vulnerable state. Okay, the Iron Brigade's unraveling their flank. Nice. Alright, so he did push back Confederates there. The Irish Brigade just drove back Humphreys, so now they can come up to guard his flank. Black Hats halt, shoot a volley at point blank. Rebels are going to certainly countercharge. But these Spencers are coming in handy, I think. And Kite is driven back. So now the Iron Brigade can take care of Clingman, protect the Springfield's flank. Gamer can come up here a bit. Hopefully raise the morale of the Black Hats, who are in a melee and are now kind of being driven back. And then... Black Hats are routing. Alright, Clingman is dead for good. Excellent. And the Iron Brigade up further to provide flank support. Springfields are actually in really good position here in this woods. They've got some cover. Alright. Daniel Hayes is wounded. Who's he commanding? Iron Brigade? Damn. These guys are going to be in trouble if they get in melee. Get another shot off. There you go. Point blank at Mark. Oh, he still didn't retreat. Iron Brigades have really bad weapons for melee combat. Black Hats get in there. There you go. Shooting at Martin as he runs. Irish coming up to support the Black Hats, who now... How are they rear flanked? They should be facing that direction. Alright, we've only got 38 more minutes left here. They're way overextended. Probably fall back. Get out of there, JBG. Come on, Kite's Brigade should be dead already. Get another volley off before... Okay, they stopped. Nice. Look at Kite run. Be one more shot. There he goes. He's dead for good. Iron Brigade can come up now on the flank here of the rebels and hopefully help the Springfields roll up their lines. Meanwhile, Gamer's got to try and help rally these guys because they are suffering in the north. And now Humphreys is in trenches. Just great. Are they if this white flashing is them retreating, that's pretty ridiculous. Alright. Oh, Martin's still out there? Alright. Sunshine moving this way. Come up behind the Iron Brigade. Alright, our reinforcements have arrived. Get up there, boys. On the double. Is it just one brigade? No, okay. Alright, you guys are gonna have to run to get there before this phase ends. They're all going to be exhausted, but I want to get them into the fight here before we run out of time. All right, we'll see. Die, die, die. Almost, I think. Alright. The troops in the north are hanging in there, I hope. They're gonna be in melee in a second. Okay, now you should be able to shoot at these guys. Humphreys should be a dead brigade just with that volley. Close. Finish that artillery off. Finish that artillery off. God damn it. I don't think this fight's gonna end in time. Some of these guys won't get there in time. That's fine. I don't know if there's another phase today or not. I guess we'll see. Yeah, they're gonna run out of time. Our right flank is under attack. Okay. We're continuing to shift our army toward the old Cold Harbor. The Confederates are responding by reinforcing and entrenching their right flank near New Cold Harbor crossroads. Our formation is overstretched and fragile at Shady Grove Road. The rebels know that, and they seem to be mobilizing for an attack. We must delay them until reinforcements arrive. Then we shall fortify behind Shady Grove Road in order to prepare our main assault on their right flank. Okay. So I assume this is our right flank up here. And we'll see how this fight unfolds here. Confederates hold the passage to Old Church Road, and if we secure it, we could drive them away from the battlefield today. Our temporary fortifications at the woods near Magnolia Swamp are being targeted by the enemy. We're going to abandon these positions soon because the Confederates are becoming too strong in the area. Okay. We're guarding this section of Shady Grove Road with 2 brigades to delay the Confederate advance. More reinforcements are on the way. All right. General, be cautious trying to inflict casualties on the enemy. We cannot afford too many losses before our main attack. Okay, so let's pause here. You can see here there's enemy troops dug in. We've got an objective here. We've got one objective we need to hold. I think we do this. I'm going to keep the one troop in these trenches. But I'm going to go ahead and pull these 2 brigades out and move them around to try and move them through open terrain. I hope this works to attack that position. In addition to that, I'm going to bring 2 brigades down north. I'm gambling on the fact they won't have any troops coming from the west here, so this objective should be relatively safe. We'll move the artillery into this house here. And so we're going to attack. We'll leave 1 brigade on the defensive to guard the position. And we'll attack with 3 brigades we have in the south here against these enemy fortifications. So we'll see how this all works out, but that's the plan, is attack with 3 brigades on the objective here, bring 2 brigades in to assist that assault, leave 1 back to guard the defensive position, and advance 2 brigades from the north to kind of hit them in the front and their northern flank. We'll see how this all works. I am fighting very aggressively, there's no doubt about that. I acknowledge that, but I feel like Cold Harbor, if you're not aggressive at the start, you're going to be screwed, because by day 2, the battlefield gets very, very... I mean, they're digging trenches, right? So if you don't defeat them on day 1, you're probably screwed, I would assume. Alright, Evans is charging Bass. He's charging into an enemy. He's outnumbered by 3-1, better than 3-1. Volley to his front, and another volley on his flank from Franklin, and just like that, Evans' brigade is shattered. Almost 200 casualties. Another enemy brigade is charging. In melee before we can get a volley off. Franklin can help out there. Okay. Meanwhile, Finnegan is being attacked by Dukes, or at least being probed by Dukes. Take some skirmishers off. Actually, screw that. Don't do that. Move around Lewis's flank. So Lewis is in these trenches, right? But if we can get in behind him with Getty's brigade, these enemy positions seem horribly overextended. So if we can get some troops behind the enemy lines, we can unravel them pretty quick. Okay, we're holding off against one light brigade attacking here. We've got 2 brigades guarding the north and dealing with the Confederate attack here. And we've got brigades down on the actual objective. Getty's is moving. I guess he's retreating now. Is that a retreat? Is he really retreating there? Coward. Alright, you're gonna charge. I don't want you just sitting there taking punishment from skirmishers and trenches that you don't need to. Do you have a general here? Come on, Gibbon. Alright, so the skirmishers are driven out. Oh god. There's enemy artillery now in these entrenchments. Looks like our troops are being driven back there. Meanwhile, Gibbon's coming up, Carroll's coming up as a reserve on the defensive, on the objective point. Gettysburg is firing into Lewis from behind. We're outnumbered. Enemy reinforcements are arriving. God damn, Sedgwick. There's fucking skirmishers everywhere here. That's the issue. Alright, how are we doing in the north? Really, you guys are taking that long to overwhelm troops that you outnumber substantially? Victory! We win! Okay. The Battle of Cold Harbor is over, folks, and we only took 4,000 casualties. That is a huge victory. Apparently we ran out of time, or the Confederates ran out of time. We held the Old Church Road long enough. I wasn't really paying attention up here, but we just won the Battle of Cold Harbor. We drove the rebels from their positions, and even though we didn't capture a ton of stuff, we also only took 4,000 casualties, so no officers wounded here. You know, several units did relatively well. We lost some heavy casualties within some really good units, but not a ton at the end of the day. And the Confederates lost more than 7,000 men against our 4,000 men. So that was a great victory. That is a multi-day battle. You know, the bloodbath would have been June 2nd. We ended the battle early because we took a strategic Confederate position that would have forced the Confederate army to withdraw. And this is really a huge victory as well because we get something like 17,000 new recruits to our army that we will only have to replace a couple thousand casualties with. In addition to that, hundreds of thousands of dollars that won't go, you know, need to go towards spending a ton of money on elite troops being replaced. The only bad thing is that first attack I launched did involve some really good troops of ours. You can see here the Springfields lost 600 men, the Black Hats lost 800 men, the Irish Brigade lost 1,000 men. These are really expensive. So the casualties we did lose were not cheap. But we'll see how that all plays out. All right, everyone, there you have it. We just won a decisive victory at the Battle of Cold Harbor in a fraction of the time with a fraction of the cost. With that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will resume our conquest of the South, resume our attempts to take over the Confederacy next time around. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts below as always, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.